Have you ever felt yourself craving a sense of calm and slowness? Gentle in the way you think, gentle in the pace of your days, and gentle even in how you look toward the future. Not because you want to escape your current life, but because after a long time of pushing through work, living costs, and the feeling that prices are rising faster than you can adapt, something changes. People begin to want something very simple. A place that feels easier to breathe in, a place where each day no longer feels like a race, and where big life decisions are made in a calm state of mind, not under pressure. That's why Europe on Sale exists. This channel is not looking for flashy homes, and it's not trying to tell a story that feels too perfect to be real. We choose properties with clear photos, information that can be checked, and most importantly, the potential to become a real place to live. Maybe ready to move into, or maybe needing only moderate work to reach basic comfort. We don't tell you which home you should buy, and we don't want you to feel rushed into deciding anything. What we want to offer is peace of mind, the feeling that you see the full picture, understand the real context, and can decide for yourself what fits your rhythm of life. In today's video, we'll look at two homes in two completely different parts of Italy. They share one thing that makes many people pause. Both are priced at 19,000 euros, far below the general market level. Not to chase a bargain, but simply to open up another way of living for you to consider. The first home takes us to Liguria, in the Savignone area, near the Scrivia Valley, and not too far from the city of Genoa. This one is a mansarda, an attic apartment on the top floor. It offers around 60 square meters of space, one bedroom, one bathroom, and it sits in a building with an elevator. For anyone who likes compact spaces, wants good transport connections, and still wants some distance from noise, this home has a very particular appeal. The second home takes us south to Apulia, in the town of Gioia del Colle. This is an independent townhouse in the historic center, smaller in size, around 40 square meters, but with details that make it stand out. It has a balcony, a private rooftop terrace, and two bathrooms, which is rare at this price level. And this second home is the one that will likely make many people stop and ask themselves, if you're looking for a second home or a highly usable weekend place, could this actually be the more practical choice between the two? So take your time watching. There's no pressure, no decision you need to make today. This is simply a journey to help you see another way of living more clearly and to ask yourself whether it fits your own story. And now, let's begin.
Savignone is a small area in the Liguria region, located inland from Genoa, where daily life is not pulled along by city noise. People live in a very practical way here. Mornings begin with regular bus routes running on time, a few local shops opening slowly, and the familiar rhythm of a valley where things move by habit rather than urgency. There is not much here meant to impress, but there is a clear sense of comfort if you're looking for a place that feels peaceful enough, yet connected enough. You're not cut off from the world, but you also don't wake up every morning feeling the weight of city pressure on your shoulders. In that setting, our first property is a mansarda, an attic apartment on the top floor of a 5-level building located in the Isorelle area of Savignone. What draws attention here is not luxury, but how light the entry point feels. The apartment is listed at 19,000 euros. With around 60 square meters of space, the price sits far below the surrounding market. When you place it next to the local averages, the gap becomes very clear. Even within Savignone itself, typical prices are much higher. Nearby Busala sits lower but still well above this level. Across the wider Genoa province, the difference becomes even more striking. In simple terms, this mansarda is priced far below the general baseline around it. Structurally, the apartment includes one bedroom, one bathroom, and a compact kitchen corner designed for a simple lifestyle. It sits on the top floor. The building does have an elevator, but it stops one level below, and you walk up a short flight of stairs to reach the apartment. Details like double-glazed windows, independent radiator heating powered by natural gas, and fiber internet infrastructure suggest this is a place meant for real living, not just something to look at on paper. Connection is another key point. The nearest bus stop is only a short walk away. Busala train station is close enough to reach on foot if you're comfortable walking, or just a few minutes by car. And if you need to travel toward Genoa, the main highway through the Busala area makes that journey much more straightforward than in more isolated mountain towns. Around the apartment, you'll also find very everyday essentials: supermarkets, pharmacies, schools, basic services. This is the kind of place where you can live without being completely dependent on a large city. From a financial perspective, this apartment feels like a small ticket into Liguria without paying coastal-level prices. Of course, since it's described as needing renovation, you do need to plan for some upgrades to reach true comfort. But if you're someone who's okay taking things step by step, living simply and prioritizing stable connections over having a perfect home from day one, this mansarda is worth thinking about. So when you look at a place like this, what do you see? A limitation because it sits on the top floor? Or a lighter way of living where ownership costs no longer create stress every single month? That's a question worth answering honestly and quietly for yourself.
Gioia del Colle is an inland town in the Puglia region where daily life holds a clear balance between everyday routines and deep historical roots. Mornings here don't start with rushing. People walk more. They pause to chat in the main square, stop by a familiar bakery, and only then move on with their day. The air feels dry. Southern Italian light is steady and present, and the rhythm of life in Gioia del Colle feels like a gentle reminder that life doesn't always need to move fast. Right in the historic center of the town, there is a small, independent townhouse tucked into the narrow streets that are so typical of southern Italy. The asking price for this home is 19,000 euros. The house offers around 40 square meters of space arranged over 2 levels, 1 bedroom, 2 bathrooms, a layout that's quite rare for such a compact size. The main living space sits on the lower floor, simple and practical. Upstairs, you'll find the bedroom, the second bathroom, and access to a private rooftop terrace. That terrace is what really sets this home apart. It's not large, but it's enough to step outside and breathe, to enjoy the morning sun, or to sit quietly at the end of the day. The house also has a balcony, which helps natural light move through the space. That's especially important in historic town centers like this. In terms of condition, the home is described as ready to live in. That means you're not forced into renovations right away. Light updates like painting, adjusting lighting, or improving airflow can be done gradually over time. For anyone who doesn't want to start with a major renovation project, this is a clear advantage. Location-wise, walkability is where this home really shines. Within just a few minutes, you can reach the main square of Gioia del Colle, where shops, cafes, pharmacies, and the bus stop are all located. The train station is about a short walk away, with direct connections between Bari and Taranto. That makes regular travel possible without relying on a private car. The Bari airport is within a reasonable driving distance, close enough that travel never feels like a burden. From a financial perspective, the strength of this home is easy to see. The price per square meter sits far below the local average and even further below the wider Bari area. That creates a clear safety margin for the buyer. In terms of use, this is the kind of property that works well as a second home or a small primary residence for a single person or a couple who wants a simpler life. It's not showy, it doesn't demand high running costs, and it's flexible enough to adapt to different stages of life. And when you stand in front of a home like this, the real question is not whether it's perfect, it's whether a small, independent space set within the slower rhythm of southern Italy is enough to help you feel lighter day after day.
We've just gone through a journey that moved at a slower pace, and while watching, you may have felt a mix of very familiar emotions. At first, there was curiosity, because the price alone is enough to make anyone pause. Then came surprise, because the two places could not feel more different, even though they start from the same number. And somewhere along the way, that feeling may have shifted into something calmer, when you realize this is not really about buying a cheap house, it's a story about how you want to live the rest of your life and how much weight you're willing to carry on your shoulders. If you're wondering how these two properties can be listed at 19,000 euros, that doubt is completely understandable. For anyone used to markets where housing prices always move upward, sometimes year after year, a number like this can feel unreal. But the reality in many parts of Italy is different. value is not shaped by hype or speculation. It's shaped by local rhythms, by younger generations moving away, by the gap between major centers and inland towns, and by a simple truth: not every place needs to become a hotspot to be valuable. Some places remain affordable because life there remains quiet, measured, and meant for people who truly want to live, not just own. When you look at everyday life, it becomes clearer why these choices can suit many people, especially later in life, or for those who want to hold a small asset without financial pressure. Living costs in small towns are usually easier to handle. Property taxes and basic upkeep rarely feel heavy month after month, and most importantly, you're not forced to finish everything immediately. You can move step by step, at your own pace, within your own financial comfort. Sustainability doesn't always mean things look perfect right away. Sometimes it simply means you can live long-term without constant tension. Of course, choices like these are not perfect. Some places need updates to feel comfortable. Some require careful checks to avoid unexpected costs, but they never promise otherwise. Their value lies in honesty. You look at them and understand this is a foundation, a place that can become a home if you step in calmly with a reasonable plan, not with urgency, not with pressure. Try to imagine a very ordinary day after owning a place like this. In the morning, you open the door. Fresh air flows in gently. You make a cup of coffee. You watch the light slowly change across old rooftops or distant hills. You step outside for a moment. You hear the town waking up. You meet someone you know. You exchange a few words without rushing. In the afternoon, you come back home. The house doesn't need to shine. It just needs to be quiet enough for you to feel you're in the right place. Nothing dramatic happens, and that is exactly where the value is. So after today's journey, what stays with you the longest? A specific house, or the idea of a life with less tension? Do you feel like you're searching for satisfaction, or are you really searching for lightness? If you have your own thoughts, share them in the comments. We truly read every one. And if this way of looking at things resonates with you, you can subscribe and continue the journey with us. Each video offers another perspective on places where ownership still feels human, balanced, and sustainable over time. Thank you for watching. I wish you a peaceful day and good fortune ahead.